I'm supposed to say something in French, so bonsoir. Is that correct? Perfect. Yeah, I was supposed to take a French class this year, and then I went for some few classes, and I stopped. So hopefully I get to go back again one day. So today I'm here to talk to you about food. How many people have eaten today? Oh, very few people ate today. Come on, the energy is very low in the room though. Very few people, and mostly the Africans. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. And how many people want to continue eating? A lot of people at the back don't want to continue eating. I assume they want to continue drinking. All right, okay, so basically what we are trying to do is to make sure there is enough food to feed a lot of people. And we want to do that on a sustainable basis. And we are approaching this from a business perspective. No apology. Because we just think it's smart business because 1/3 of the world today is fed by small-scale farmers in Africa and Asia. And for us to continue feeding the world, farmers will have to increase production by 70%. And we think that for farmers to keep up to the demand, they must have access to three main things. They must have access to the right information at the right time. They must have access to innovative finance. And also they must have access to market where they can sell their produce and make more money to invest in their family so that they can be motivated to keep producing more food for the future. So when I just spoke about all these things. When you think of Ghana, for instance, a lot of people are into agriculture, either into production or sales and all that. Like, a big part of our country is involved in agric. Every child that grew up in Ghana full time somehow was involved in agriculture. And that's the same for my team. I'm here with my co-founder Emmanuel. Emmanuel, come on. He's our CTO, and then he runs the entire team that builds the technology that we use. So most people spend a lot of time on the farm as well. And for me, it's the same for me. I grew up on a farm. He grew up in a farming, like in a community. Although today I do not look like a farmer, but yeah, it's just a natural part of growth. Like you somehow go back to your hometown, and when you do, there's somebody there that's in your family that's a farmer. So you get to experience, like, most of the challenges that they face. You get to see the hard work that they put into their farm, and then you also get to see the very little reward that they get. In Ghana, for instance, the government has a group of people that we call the agricultural extension officers, and they are supposed to train farmers to give us, to give them the latest information and techniques. But that number is very low. Farmers, one officer has to train over 2,000 farmers. And today we believe that mobile technology can do something about that because in Ghana, for instance, the mobile subscription is very high. It's over 100%. So it means that people have access to mobile phones than they have access to their own toothbrush. And that's a very, very interesting stat. And we are basically using that medium to help farmers to access the information, to access all the services that they need to produce and sell more food. But more importantly, for the businesses that are selling to you here to get access to farmers. And that's where our business comes in. We provide businesses like Hershey's and these chocolate companies that you buy, we give them access to farmers and we give them the tools that they need to reach farmers at a price point that is cheaper than the traditional technique. And that's where our business is. And we are entirely a for-profit business. And our mission is to transform millions of farmers to think of farming as a business. We want to transform them into entrepreneurs. When you look at the Millennium Development Goals, it's all about, how do we help some poor farmers? How do we help the poor Africa? When you think of the Sustainable Development Goal, it's about how do we produce food to feed the world, not just Africa, right? And farmers are at the center of that. And for them to be able to remain in the business, we all have a responsibility to make sure that they are motivated to keep farming. They must see the results. Because right now, when you go to Ghana, for instance, most of the cocoa farmers are around 60, and their kids do not want to become cocoa farmers. Why? Because there's very little return. So the older farmers are selling their farms to, miners, and the miners are using their land, the lands for mining. And most people are selling their lands, their farmlands. If this continues, we will not have a lot of chocolate to buy in the future, and hopefully we will not have a lot of food. So we have a responsibility to make sure farmers get access to the information, the finance, and then the services that they need to keep producing more food. And what we offer basically on the farmer side is that we give information services to farmers on mobile. We do not use SMS. You all know of SMS, but we use audio, voice. So farmers get access to weather forecasts, market prices, and general agricultural information to help them to produce more food. And it's all audio. And the video that we showed earlier, a farmer gets a phone call, they pick the call, and then they listen to the message. And that's about 0.1% of our revenue. But then the way we make money as a company, we are profitable today. We are working in 10 countries. We've reached over 200,000 farmers. And the way we make money is that we have a platform as a service, software as a service, that we license to businesses that are trying to sell to farmers in Africa and businesses that are sourcing from farmers in Africa. So we are a great middleman. We have the technology platform that helps people to do business with farmers. And for every time they use our platform, they pay us between $99 to $450 a month for the platform that they use. Large companies like Hershey can pay as high as $150,000 for 6 months to use our platform and some simple customizations on the platform. So that's how we make money as a business. And some of our customers, aside the food companies, aside the food companies are fertilizer and seeds companies like Louis and Dairy Foods who are trying to sell fertilizer in Africa, governments, and also agribusiness, and also NGOs that are implementing food security projects. So I mentioned these are some of our customers. Hershey, we work with Touton, a French cocoa processing company, and all these other organizations. Yeah. So I spoke about this already, some of our services that we give out to farmers. And this is what the businesses pay for. They pay for our software for farmer profiling, farm mapping, certification, and all that. Yeah. So this is our team, actually, a small part of our team. We just increased our staff. From now, we are about 32 people, all based in Ghana, a mixture of about 95% Ghanaians and 5% young Americans that care a lot about making a difference. So I think the main message here is that we are using a business approach to solve a problem that has been existing for a very long time. For the past 60 years, my country, Ghana, I've seen a lot of aid and also NGOs, well-meaning NGOs coming in to do a lot of great work, which we partner with today. But we think that for us to approach the problem and to solve the problem of producing more food to feed the future, we must help small-scale farmers to think of it as a business. So our role is to empower these farmers to do it as a business, but then also to help large corporations like Hershey's and all these companies to learn about how to invest into their supply chain to help farmers. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm ready to answer questions.
Thank you so much.